Once upon a time, there was a rich merchant. He had 3 daughters, and 2 of them were extremely selfish. However, the third one, named Beauty, was both kind-hearted and full of love. One day, the merchant received news that his ships had sunk in a violent storm. The poor man had lost all his wealth, and all that remained was a small house in a nearby town. The 2 greedy sisters were not pleased with this situation at all. They became lazy and spent their days complaining. All the household chores fell on Beauty. After some time, the merchant heard that one of his lost ships had reached the port. Before setting out to confirm the news, he asked his daughters what gifts they would like him to bring back. The spirits of the selfish sisters immediately lifted. "We want dresses and jewelry," they demanded. "What about you, Beauty?" asked the merchant. "A rose, that's all I need," replied Beauty. A few days later, the merchant sadly set out on his journey back home. Unfortunately, he remained poor because he had lost the remaining money from the last ship to swindlers. As darkness fell, he entered a forest. The forest was both dark and cold, with lightning flashing and wind blowing snow from the ground. Distant howls of wolves could be heard. The merchant wandered through the forest, not knowing where he was going, and after hours of struggling through the snow with his horse, he suddenly saw a beautifully lit castle in the distance. However, it was a strange castle, because despite the roaring fireplaces and well-lit rooms, there was no one to be seen. The merchant called out, but there was no response. After realizing that waiting was futile, he tied his horse to the stable and had the meal that was set out on the long table. He then went to bed and fell asleep. When he woke up in the morning, he found new clothes waiting for him. Downstairs, a beautiful breakfast was also prepared. "This castle must belong to a kind-hearted fairy who took pity on me," thought the merchant. As he left the castle, he noticed the beautiful roses in the garden. "At least I can keep my promise to Beauty," he thought, and he picked a rose. However, as soon as he picked it, a tremendous roar echoed all around, and a terrifying beast emerged from behind the bushes. The beast was so frightening that the merchant almost fainted from fear. "You ungrateful man," roared the beast. "I saved your life, I fed you and clothed you, and now you repay me by stealing my beautiful roe."